Okay, so the Mahdi arrival, I just found out this video. What just happened in Israel terrifies the whole world. This is the title of this video. So before we talk about the coming of the Mahdi, the end of time in Islam, using some hadiths, I want to share with you this video first.
In the Bible, Israel is regarded as God's covenant people, going with his covenant and being protected by him. There are prophecies regarding Israel in the last days which are coming to pass. What are these prophecies, and what's their significance for Israel and the world? Watch this video till the end to find out. Israel, a Middle Eastern country located on the Mediterranean Sea, is regarded as the biblical Holy Land by Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Its capital, Jerusalem, holds most of its holy sites like the Temple Mount, Old City, Western Wall, and Mount Zion, among others. In Judaism and Christianity, Israel is known as the Holy Land, and Jerusalem a holy city. According to them, it's the place that holds the core of their faith, where it began. For Christians, it's the place where the life and death of Jesus unfolded. With its significance level, It's no surprise to anyone the prophecies surrounding them in the Holy Book.
Okay, so every time they talk about Islam, Christianity, Judaism, end of time, looks like they cannot leave out the topic about the third temple. And I understand that in Judaism, there is a significance about this building of third temple. I totally understand. But what I also want to talk to you about is that this ayat in the Quran where Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned clearly that the Yahudi, they will create fasad on land twice, marrataini. وَلَا تَعَلُونَ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا. If you remember that ayat from the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal warned the Yahudi will create fasad on land twice, and he said then they will become haughty, arrogant one more time. And then Allah said, if you return, I will return. Means if you return to more fasad on land, I will return to you. The way I think it will pan out would be by the coming of the Mahdi. So the moment, in other words, the Yahudi will try to destroy Masjid al-Aqsa in order to build that third temple, Allah Azza wa Jal will send the Mahdi and he will defend this piece of land from any corruption. And this is how I interpret this ayah from the Quran. Let's take a listen a little bit more.
According to the Holy Book, as the world ends, some prophecies concerning Israel are expected to come to pass to signify the second coming of Jesus. Some of these prophecies are beginning to come to pass. What are these signs, and what do they represent? Rebuilding of the temple. The Bible speaks of the first temple, known as Solomon's Temple.
Yep.
The temple, built by King Solomon to honor God, was built on the site of the present-day Temple Mount in Jerusalem. It existed between the 10th and 6th centuries BC. The temple was destroyed during the siege laid on Jerusalem by Babylon during the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar. After the destruction of the first temple, Solomon's Temple, the second temple, later known as Herod's Temple, was constructed. It was built after the Israelites returned from their exile in Babylon. They'd initially built a modest place of worship. Still, it was redesigned and reconstructed into its original structure with giant walls and big columns when King Herod the Great ruled over Judea. After its recreation, it stood for over 580 years before the Romans again destroyed it during the Roman invasion of Jerusalem. Building the third temple was put forward when the second temple was destroyed. The third temple was to succeed the first and second and be a sacred place of worship for the Jews. The third temple is also significant to the beginning of the Messianic age, but building it seems not simple. Israel cannot seem to lay claim on the land where the previous temples were said to be built. Each time
looks like Israel, this is their excuse, okay? Each time they want to build that temple, the second, the first, the third, they are coming up with this excuse saying that, oh, there is a problem. Oh, we are not happy. Oh, the Muslims are there. Oh, the Christians are there. So this is not fulfilling our requirement for the Messiah to come. Therefore, we need to get rid of these Muslims. And this is why, dear my sisters, we are seeing them so desperate to destroy Masjid al-Aqsa, because as long as the masjid is there, as long as Muslims have authority in that masjid, they will not feel like they have fulfilled the promise of the biblical prophecies, which is absolutely not correct, because most of this interpretation of the prophecies are coming directly from the Zionists, and the Zionists are not representing the religion itself. Who are representing it is the Jew people in general. But if you take a look at Orthodox Judaism, if you take a look at ultra-Orthodox Judaism, liberal Judaism, all of these kind of sects in their religion, you see differences in opinion. There is one particular Jew group, they're saying, well, we do not need the land of Israel. They're claiming even that. And at the same time, you have other group of Jews saying that, oh, no, you stay out of our business. Let us deal with this. So the government they have now in Israel, led by Netanyahu, Vladimir Netanyahu, or Netanyahu, is actually being backed up by the Zionist rabbis who want to fulfill the prophecies through the government, and in doing so using IDF, Israeli military forces or defense forces, whatever they call it. So it is a very, very confusing state of matter for them. They cannot agree on one thing. All they can agree on, especially for the Zionists, is that they need to get rid of these Muslims, especially this masjid.
Israel tries to lay any claim on any part of Jerusalem, they're met by opposition from far and wide. Their capital, Jerusalem, is shared with Palestine, and some countries recognize West Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and its east as the capital of Palestine. The Muslims discourage building a third temple as it's the site of the Dome of Rock, an Islamic monument to the Temple Mount Center. Jewish visitors are discouraged from visiting the complex, and Jews are prevented from worshipping there. Some scholars also have reason to believe, against the Jews' long-standing belief, that no previous Jewish temples were built there. In response to this claim, researchers and scholars performed more research and discovered that the Al-Aqsa Mosque was built on a Jewish ritual cleansing site.
By the way, guys, the guy you just saw is me. I think he's a Qadiani, so don't think he's a Muslim. He's a kafir.
Proof of this was provided by British archaeologist Robert Hamilton. He wrote a paper detailing his work, including his investigations of the mosque foundations.
Well, okay, so to sum it up, just one word, okay? Just one word and one sentence for all you need to understand, which is that they will return to fasad. Even though Allah said do not, they will. And this is where they're heading to. And when Allah said, I will return to, means I will confront you. Whatever you do, I will have my representation on earth through the coming of the Mahdi to face your haughtiness, to challenge your haughtiness. Allah is referring to the Mahdi. That's what I understand after reading the Hadith and the Quran about the end of time and the coming of the Mahdi. Interesting time coming. In the end of time, we'll see more fasad, even though we do not like it. But can you stop the Zionists? I don't think so. They are very desperate. They want to establish the rule of their Messiah as soon as possible on earth, and they will do whatever it takes. If you're new to the channel, consider to subscribe. See you in the next video.